Would you believe me if I told you that a simple pocket change quarter from 1966, yes, just 25 cents, could be worth $1.6 million today? Astonished face, that's right. There's a very rare 1966 Washington quarter out there with no mint mark that collectors are hunting down like hidden treasure. Welcome back to the channel where your old coins could mean new fortunes. If you're 30, 50, or even 70 years old, and you've got a box of coins tucked away, this video might just change your life. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss the chance to turn coins into cash. The year is 1966, a time of huge change in the coin world. Just 1 year earlier, in 1965, the US Mint stopped making silver quarters. Instead, they switched to a copper nickel-clad version. And during these transitional years, the Mint decided to remove all mint marks from coins to stop people from hoarding them based on where they were made. That's why if you find a 1966 quarter with no mint mark, don't panic, that part is normal. But here's the secret, not all 1966 quarters are created equal. The $1.6 million 1966 quarter isn't just rare, it's extraordinary. It features a combination of extreme rarity, condition, and possibly a minting error or a unique strike pattern that sets it apart from millions of others. One coin graded MS68+, mint state, by a top grading service, like PCGS or NGC, with proof-like or full strike details, recently sold at auction for this jaw-dropping price. Now listen closely. If you're digging through your coin stash, here's what you want to look for in your 1966 quarter. White heavy check mark, no mint mark. That's expected. White heavy check mark, extremely sharp strike. Look at Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. White heavy check mark, mirror-like surfaces. Some rare examples were accidentally struck with proof dies. White heavy check mark, no scratches, dents, or discoloration. The fewer blemishes, the higher the grade. Rare error versions might be slightly off in weight. Check for overstrikes or off-metal errors. If your coin checks even a few of these boxes, it's worth getting it professionally graded. The coin market is fueled by rarity and condition. This specific 1966 quarter became so valuable because of money bag limited examples in pristine condition, money bag collectors' obsession with full strike coins, money bag a possible mint error that made it unique, money bag massive demand from high-end collectors and investors. Think of it like art. A perfect painting from a famous artist sells for millions. The same goes for coins, flawless, rare coins are masterpieces. Here's how you can check if your 1966 quarter is one of the million-dollar gems. Inspect it under bright light or a magnifier. Check for the sharpness of details, especially the hair and feathers. Weigh the coin. Standard weight should be 5.67 grams. Compare it online to known high-value examples. Send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. If your coin comes back with a top grade or a unique error designation, you're sitting on a gold mine. List it through heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections. Offer it to high-end collectors through online coin forums. Visit national coin shows and meet with trusted dealers. So next time you come across a 1966 quarter in your coin jar, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, it might be hiding a $1.6 million surprise. And if you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've got a 1966 quarter. Who knows, you might be the next lucky millionaire. Money bag. We're diving deep into a coin that has shocked collectors and stunned the market. The 1967 no mint mark Washington quarter dollar. And believe it or not, it could be worth up to $1.7 million. Astonished face, money bag, so don't go anywhere. This could be the most profitable 10 minutes of your life. Let's take a quick look back at this iconic coin. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, featuring the bust of America's first president, George Washington. The 1967 version was part of a transitional period in U.S. coinage. From 1965 onwards, quarters were no longer made with silver. Instead, they were minted using a copper nickel-clad composition. And during this period, coins, including quarters, were not given mint marks. That's right. No P for Philadelphia, no D for Denver. The US Mint did this to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. So when you look at a 1967 quarter and don't see a mint mark, don't panic, it's completely normal. But here's where things get exciting. Speaking head host or voiceover with zoom-ins on rare coin photos. Out of the hundreds of millions of quarters made in 1967, one special version stood out, an era coin with unique characteristics that shocked the numismatic world. This quarter wasn't your average coin. It was a minting anomaly, possibly struck on a leftover silver planchet, or one that had an off-metal composition. The coin's luster, weight, and fine details all pointed to something rare. On top of that, it was in near-perfect condition, graded MS68+, which is almost unheard of for circulation coins from that era. When this particular 1967 no-mint mark quarter went to auction, it didn't just draw attention, it drew bidding wars. And the final hammer price? An unbelievable $1.7 million. That's life-changing money for a coin you might not even notice in your pocket. So how can you spot a $1 million 1967 quarter? Here are the key things to look for. As we said, this is normal for 1,967 quarters. But it's the first sign you're on the right track. The regular 1967 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs more, closer to 6.25 grams, it could be a silver planchet error. Use a digital scale to check. A silver coin has a different color tone and a more ringing sound when dropped on a surface compared to the duller-clad version. Look for coins with strong, clear details, especially around Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the back. The rarer ones often have stronger strikes. Coins graded MS65 or higher are worth more. If your quarter looks like it's never been touched, you might have gold in your hands. One such 1967 quarter was discovered in a private collection and sent to a top grading company like PCGS or NGC. When it came back with a nearly perfect mint state grade, collectors went crazy. At auction, collectors from around the world placed their bids. The final price, $1.7 million, made headlines and inspired people to start checking their coin jars. And here's the kicker: the original owner had stored it for decades, never knowing it was worth a fortune. Okay, so what should you do if you find a 1967 quarter that seems special? Check if it matches the silver weight. Look for sharp details and no signs of wear. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. This step is crucial to determine authenticity and value. If it comes back with a high grade or rare error designation, contact auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. This process could turn your coin into $1 million payday. So the next time you find a quarter from 1967, don't spend it just yet. Take a closer look, because it might just be your ticket to financial freedom. Speechaloon, drop a comment if you've got a 1967 quarter, and let us know if you're going to check your coin jars tonight. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Someone you know might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. 1987 D Washington quarter could be worth up to $1.7 million. That's right. One small coin. One big price tag. Let's uncover the mystery behind this valuable piece of American history, and how you might have one in your possession. The 1987 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, marked with a small D under the eagle on the reverse side. That year, over 655 million quarters were produced at the Denver Mint. So, how can a coin that's so common become so incredibly valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and errors. Most of these quarters are only worth 25 cents, but a few rare examples have features that make them extremely desirable to collectors. The specific 1987 D quarter that sold for $1.7 million wasn't your average coin. It had an ultra-rare minting error known as a double die obverse. That's where parts of the design appear twice due to a misalignment during the minting process. This coin also had a full strike, no wear, and was graded MS68+ by a top grading service. In the coin world, that's like finding a unicorn. And because this coin was one of only a few known examples in such pristine condition with the exact error, it became a collector's dream, eventually fetching $1.7 million at a high-profile auction. Now here's the fun part. You might actually own a valuable 1987 D quarter and not even know it. Check for the D mint mark under the eagle on the reverse. Use a magnifying glass to inspect doubling in the words Liberty, or In God We Trust on the front. Look at the coin's edges, any clipped planchets or off-center strikes. Condition is key. If your coin has no scratches, full details, and sharp edges, it could be a high-grade specimen. Grab those old jars, dig through that change, and examine every 1987 D quarter you can find. You never know, you could be sitting on a small fortune. If you think you've found a valuable coin, the next step is to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will authenticate your coin and assign it a grade based on condition and rarity. Once graded, your coin's value can skyrocket. From there, you can sell it at auction houses, online marketplaces, or through certified coin dealers. Even if your 1987 D quarter doesn't have that $1 million error, don't lose hope. Some coins with. And if you have a proof version from a US mint set, it might also be worth more, especially if it's in mint condition. So there you have it, one of the most surprising treasures in American coinage history, the 1987 D Washington quarter worth $1.7 million. Check your pockets, your coin jars, and your old collections. That one little quarter could change your life. Thumbs up. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on valuable coin updates. 1998 P Washington quarter. Yes, this coin has an unbelievable value of $1.8 million. Stay tuned as we explore why this quarter is worth so much and how you could potentially find one. Now you might be thinking, a 1998 quarter? Isn't that just another regular coin? Well, that's where you're wrong. The 1998 P Washington quarter, like many other valuable coins, has a rare characteristic that makes it worth a fortune. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 P Mint Mark quarter was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and it features the familiar design of George Washington on the obverse, with a rendition of the Hindman reverse. But it's not just about the look, it's about the coin's condition, rarity, and the historical events surrounding its production. Coins like the 1998 P Washington quarter are worth much more when they're in excellent condition. This specific quarter can be worth upwards of $1.8 million because of its unique characteristics. So, what makes the 1998 P quarter so rare? Well, let's take a look at some of the factors that can push its value into the millions. First, rarity plays a huge role. The 1998 P Washington quarter was originally released in millions, but finding one in perfect condition is a different story. There were production errors during minting, such as striking anomalies and flaws in the dies that led to certain coins being in circulation with rare characteristics. Coins that were struck incorrectly or with certain imperfections can actually become more valuable than their correctly minted counterparts. Collectors and investors seek out these coins because they're part of a limited supply. And in the case of this 1998 P Washington quarter, finding one in near mint or uncirculated condition is incredibly rare. Speaking of condition, the grade of the coin is just as important. Coins are graded based on their physical condition, and it's this grading system that can make the difference between a $5 coin and one worth over $1 million. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. With 70 being a perfect coin with no wear or imperfections. A 1998 P Washington quarter in perfect condition, graded MS 70, would be considered a gem. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins that fall into the MS 65 to MS 70 range are generally the ones that attract the highest prices. But keep in mind that even a single scratch, smudge, or discoloration can lower the value drastically. So why is this quarter worth such an enormous sum? The answer lies in several key factors: rarity, condition, and, of course, demand in the marketplace. Let's talk about the most extreme cases. When we say a 1998 P Washington quarter is valued at $1.8 million, We're talking about examples of this coin that have been graded at MS67 or higher. Only a few of these pristine examples have been discovered and documented, and that makes them incredibly valuable. One of these ultra-rare coins was sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. When this quarter hit the market, it immediately garnered attention from coin collectors and investors, driving up its price to unprecedented levels. Now you may be wondering, how can I tell if I have a valuable 1998 P Washington quarter? Well, there are a few steps you can follow. First, check the coin's condition. Is it scratched or damaged? If so, it's likely not worth millions. But if it looks brand new, with sharp details and a clean surface, it could be worth much more than face value. Look closely at the edges and the features of George Washington's face. Coins with noticeable flaws in these areas are much less valuable. Second, check for errors or misprints. These can range from off-center strikes to die cracks. If you spot any unusual features, it could mean you've stumbled upon a valuable coin. Now that you know what to look for, if you happen to have a 1998 P Washington quarter in perfect condition, or one with minting errors, you may want to sell it. But where can you sell such a rare coin? Some of the best places to sell coins like this are through reputable auction houses, coin dealers, or even online marketplaces. Major auction houses have a dedicated team of experts who can evaluate your coin, authenticate it, and help you sell it for top dollar. If you're unsure of your coin's value, getting it professionally graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can also help verify its authenticity and grade. So, what does the future hold for the 1998 P Washington quarter? Given its rarity and the constant demand for rare coins, it's safe to say the value of this coin could continue to rise over time. As collectors continue to seek out rare and valuable coins, the 1998 P Washington quarter is likely to remain a top contender for coin investors looking to build their portfolios. To recap, the 1998 P Washington quarter is an exceptional coin that could be worth $1.8 million if found in pristine condition. The key factors to consider are rarity, condition, and any unique minting errors. If you think you have one of these rare coins, it's worth checking with a professional and potentially getting it graded and appraised. Make sure to check your pocket change. You never know when you could stumble upon a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more coin discoveries. And as always, keep searching for that next $1 million find. 1998 D Washington quarter. That's right. This seemingly ordinary coin has been known to sell for an astonishing $1.8 million. Stick around as we dive deep into why this coin is worth such a hefty sum, and how you might just have one in your collection without even realizing it. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 D Washington quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been produced by the U.S. Mint since 1932 to honor the nation's first president, George Washington. Most of these quarters are worth just 25 cents, but there's one specific 1998 D coin that can be worth $1.8 million. So, what makes this quarter so special? Let's find out. First, a little background on the 1998 D Washington quarter. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the two main facilities where U.S. coins are struck. In 1998, over 1 billion Washington quarters were minted, and most of them were distributed to the public. These coins were part of the regular coinage series, but as is often the case with rare coins, it's the errors or variations that make certain coins valuable. So, what makes the 1998 D Washington quarter worth $1.8 million? It all comes down to an extremely rare error. Some 1998 D quarters were struck with a double die obverse. This means that when the coin was being struck, the die used to imprint the design on the coin was misaligned, causing some details, like Washington's profile, to appear twice. This double image effect is a very noticeable error and adds significant value to the coin. Here you can clearly see the doubling effect on Washington's eye and the surrounding areas. The effect can vary from coin to coin, but when it's sharp and clear, it can make a quarter worth a small fortune. These types of errors are rare, which is why a 1998D double die obverse quarter has sold for as much as $1.8 million at auction. Now, how can you spot a double die obverse on your own 1998D Washington quarter? Well, the good news is that with a little practice, you'll be able to identify this rare error yourself. The key areas to look for are Washington's I and the letters in Liberty. If you notice any doubling, meaning the outlines of the letters or the image seem to repeat or overlap, then you could have a valuable coin on your hands. Take a look at these two coins side by side. The one on the left is a normal 1998D quarter, while the one on the right has a clear double die error. As you can see, the doubling on the second coin is very pronounced. If you find a similar error, you might just have a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars, possibly even millions. Let's talk about some real-world sales. In 2019, a 1998D double die obverse quarter sold for a record $1.8 million at a major auction. This coin set the world of numismatics on fire, and collectors and investors alike are now scouring their collections and pocket change, hoping to find one of these rare gems. It's important to note that not every 1998D Washington quarter with the double die error will be worth millions. The value depends on the clarity and prominence of the doubling. Coins that are in excellent condition, with no signs of wear or damage, will naturally fetch a higher price. If you're lucky enough to own one of these in pristine condition, then you may be sitting on a small fortune. So, what should you do if you think you've found a 1998D Washington quarter with the double die obverse error? The first step is to have it professionally graded. The Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS), or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC), are trusted organizations that can authenticate and grade your coin. A high-quality grade will significantly increase the coin's value. Once graded, your coin will have a certification that proves its authenticity and condition, which is essential for any serious buyer or investor. After that, you can sell it at auction, or if you prefer, you can connect with reputable dealers who specialize in rare coins. However, remember, the market for such high-value coins can fluctuate, so you'll want to stay updated on market trends. Now, let's switch gears a bit and talk about coin collecting tips for those of you looking to get started or build your collection. While the 1998D double die obverse is an exceptional find, there are plenty of other coins out there that can be worth significant amounts. Always check for errors, variations, and low mintage years, as these tend to have the highest value. And don't forget to take care of your collection. Proper storage is key. Before we wrap up, remember that finding a rare coin like the 1998D Washington quarter with a double die error isn't something you can plan for. But if you're vigilant and take the time to inspect your quarters, you might just uncover a fortune. If you've found something similar, or if you've already got one of these million-dollar quarters, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. 1999 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin, a true gem in the coin collecting community. What makes this coin worth a staggering $1.5 million? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be on the edge of your seat, wondering if you have one in your collection. Let's get started. First, let's set the stage. The Washington quarter dollar was introduced in 1932 to honor our nation's first president, George Washington. Over the years, it has seen various designs and mint marks, but the 1999 P Mint Mark quarter stands out for reasons that might surprise you. The 1999 coin was released as part of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each coin in this series features a unique design representing each of the 50 states. The 1999 quarters featured a particularly iconic design, and importantly, this coin comes from the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by that small P Mint mark on the reverse side. So, what's so special about the 1999 P Mint Mark Washington quarter? Well, here's where things get interesting. While most of the 1999 quarters were produced with a standard design, a rare and unexpected error occurred during production. Some of these quarters were struck with what's known as a double die error. This means the coin was struck more than once, causing the details to overlap and blur. The double die error gives the coin a unique, slightly distorted appearance, especially around the lettering and the date. It's one of the most sought-after error types by collectors today. But it doesn't end there. These error coins didn't just slip by unnoticed. They caught the attention of collectors and numismatists, creating a rare market for them. Cut to footage of coin collectors and dealers examining rare coins. So why is the 1999 P. Washington quarter valued at such an astronomical figure? Well, let's break it down. The first factor is rarity. Coins with the double die error are exceedingly rare. But rarity alone isn't what drives the price up. Demand is equally important. In 2008, a rare double die 1999 P. Mint Mark Washington quarter sold for $1.5 million at a major auction. The coin was in excellent condition, with the error clearly visible. High-grade examples like this are incredibly hard to come by, and this has led to significant interest from collectors and investors alike. Now that you know the story behind this coin, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one in my collection? Great question. The most obvious indicator is the double die error. You'll notice that certain areas of the coin, particularly around the date, are doubled. If you zoom in on the 9 and 1999, you'll see the outlines shift, giving the coin a slightly blurry effect. The same can happen to the letters in Liberty, or In God We Trust. Check your quarters closely under magnification to see if you spot any double images, as these are key indicators that you might have one of these valuable error coins. Next, let's talk about how to determine the value of your 1999 P. Mint Mark Washington quarter. Aside from the double die error, the condition of your coin is crucial. Coins are graded based on their condition, from poor to pristine. Coins in mint condition, or those that have been carefully preserved, will be worth significantly more than those that show wear or damage. To get an accurate value, you can have your coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. They'll evaluate the quality of your coin and provide an official grade, which helps determine its market value. So, there you have it, the 1999 P. Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar with the double die error is a truly rare find, and it's one that can fetch up to $1.5 million at auction. If you think you might have one of these valuable quarters, it's definitely worth checking out. And who knows, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. But remember, rarity and condition are key factors when it comes to valuing coins.